Our top story this hour, countdown to the tariff showdown. By this time tomorrow, $34 billion worth of goods will be hit with tariffs, expected to be in full effect on Chinese imports, firing the first shot in a trade war. China responding by implying the move will only shoot the U.S. in the foot. China is expected to retaliate with import tariffs of its own on everything from automobiles to soybeans. Joining us now, the Coming Collapse of China author, Gordon Chang. Gordon, what do you make of this? That China says what would happen is they're supposed to go into effect this Friday, but if China implements, Friday starts at noon Eastern time today, so they're waiting until the U.S. makes the first move. Why the symbolism?
Well, you know, this is not really the first move. China has been waging a trade war against the U.S. for decades. This is maybe the first shot of the U.S. trying to defend itself. Because you've got to remember that these tariffs are issued under the authority of Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974, and they're being imposed for theft of U.S. intellectual property. And that theft is somewhere in the hundreds of billions of dollars a year. So the U.S. has got to do something. People may not like tariffs, but nonetheless, the U.S. has to respond in some fashion.
But will it work? And again, and I pointed out on this program repeatedly that China has a lot more weapons in its arsenal in terms of fighting us on this other than tariffs. There's a report this morning in the Washington Post, something that I've pointed out, that they can just ramp up inspections on U.S. companies in that nation. There's a pet food company that the Washington Post mentions that they can make it harder to do business there. They can shift buying of soybeans, for example, to other countries almost instantaneously and hurt our farmers without ever putting a tariff on soybean imports.
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, with the soybean imports, if they don't buy from us, they got to buy from Brazil. If they buy from Brazil, Brazil can't sell to its traditional customers because there's only so many soybeans in the world at this moment. So America will sell to Brazil's customers. Prices will go down a little bit, and U.S. soybean farmers will switch to corn, which is they're already doing. The other point, though, Dakin, is really, really important about U.S. companies in China being hostages. A lot of Chinese officials are really upset at Xi Jinping, the ruler of China, for suggesting that there's going to be retaliation against U.S. companies because those officials are worried about the obvious, and that is that the United States and other countries are going to pull back investment from China. The Chinese are really, really worried about that. And so, yeah, they can do those things that the Washington Post talks about, but they are going to be reluctant to because they realize it hurts them more than it hurts us.
Well, that's the central calculation by President Trump and the Trump administration going after China, that we import more than $500 billion of goods from China every year. They only import from us $130 billion.
Right.
So if we pull back, we tariff their goods, it hurts them more. Plus, Mitch has pointed out repeatedly that the Chinese economy is in bad shape. The yuan is weakening. Chinese investment into U.S. companies, I think, is down 92% this year because of the crackdown.
And one more thing, there's $610 million that flew out of their equity markets to other markets. Money's flowing out, and if capital's flowing out of your economy, that's the engine for future growth. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. You know, we've been showing that the Shanghai Composite is down 0.91%, but that's state enterprises. You look at the tech-heavy Shenzhen index, which is down 1.9% today, and also the Chinex, which is like our NASDAQ, that was down 2.1% today. And this is on the back of persistent losses over the last month or so. The Shanghai Composite, even though it's state enterprise heavy, is the worst performing major index in the world this year.
Right.
I want to move on. This is about China as well, about ZTE making leadership changes official. This coming after Gordon, as I read this, by the way, is shaking his head doing this. So they're trying to get the U.S. to lift this ban on ZTE selling into this country.
Yeah, you know, changing the directors from one set to another, that's substituting one set of bad actors for another set. You know, they're all dominated, and these guys work for the Communist Party, and they're going to follow Communist Party directions. So this really does nothing for us. This is cosmetic. You know, I suppose it's nice to ask for it because the last set of directors were bad guys, but you know, this is just silly.
Are we going to end up cutting off ZTE? Because, again, the president gave him a lifeline. The Republicans in Congress pushed back on it. Where do we stand on that?
Well, I think the president will get his way and we will not cut off ZTE, but we should do that because, look, these guys violated Iran and North Korea sanctions. Then they violated the consent decree with the United States. You know,
we lied about it.
And lied about it and all the rest of it. So, you know, the United States needs to make an example because, remember, this is not just ZTE. We've got Huawei coming next because they've also been violating Iran and North Korea sanctions. There's a Justice Department criminal investigation. We should go hard after Huawei as well.
So maybe we didn't go hard ahead of on ZTE, ahead of the summit with North Korea. And speaking of that, Gordon, I want your take on it. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo heading to North Korea, his first trip there since that historic Singapore summit, which had a goal of, quote, complete, verifiable, irreversible denuclearization. But there are reports that the U.S. could be softening that stance.
Yeah.
There's some cracks in what is happening with North Korea. Again, we had maximum sanctions, maximum pressure there on sanctions, but China has loosened its enforcement of those sanctions after the summit, smugglers moving goods across the border, the North exploiting loopholes. What do you make of this trip, and what do you want to see?
Yeah, this is make or break for us because President Trump has said that essentially, look, Kim Jong-un has made a decision to give up his nuclear weapons. Our policy is based on that assessment of Kim's intentions. So, you know, our policy makes sense if that's indeed the case. But if it doesn't, our policy is really bad because, as you point out, we've been letting up on the sanctions. We've suspended the joint...
We have or China has?
Well, we have given up in a sense because we're not designating new front companies. The North Koreans change front companies all the time. We're not designating the new front companies. That's Wall Street Journal reporting from the end of May. And when you do that, we allow the North Koreans to hollow out sanctions. At the same time, we have not been imposing costs on China for blatantly violating those sanctions, what you're referring to. And as well, it's not just the Chinese, it's the Russians as well have been violating these sanctions. So, you know, we're at a situation where we have allowed North Korea to basically run around our rules. And, you know, that means we're going to have a lot less leverage in future discussions unless we lower the hammer on them.
And new satellite photos, Morgan, did show that Kim Jong-un is continuing to develop his nuclear weapons program. There was a leak from intelligence officials that North Korea had increased his production of nuclear fuel at multiple sites. People were upset that there was a leak, but nonetheless, I haven't heard anybody say that this information from intelligence sources is wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Gordon and our favorite thing is to talk about North Korea on Fox News together. So, but you know, I think I mean, Gordon's right, especially on the sanctions front. And I think anyone who has observed North Korea for more than 5 minutes, Gordon, knows that they're liars and cheats. So, right. You know, this is my surprised face that they're cheating. But no, on a serious note, I mean, I think that the sanctions part is what's most concerning to me, and I think that Secretary Pompeo, and I believe he can, really is going to have to come home with some sort of big win in this third trip, because the president has gone out of his way to try to find a peaceful solution. But as we heard Governor Huckabee say earlier, there's a point when you say, okay, you're taking advantage of us, you're violating sanctions, you're not coming, this is not a full disclosure, this is not a good faith effort. Do you think that the secretary will get that
real quick, Gordon?
Yeah, I hope that he does. There's a lot of reporting to say that he's not, and this is really the time for the administration to show that its policy makes sense. And I think it's make or break, now or never.
Yeah.
You know, we'll know on Monday.